What's up, guys? It's Brian from Hash for Hub. It's about 9:04 a.m., February 18, 2018, coming to you with a trading video on Bitcoin. But first, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Upvote and Resteam would be greatly appreciated. We're getting some traction there on Steemit and DTube. Thank you guys very much who are on those platforms. Thank you. You know who you are. Much appreciated, to say the least. So yeah, if you guys are interested in those platforms, take a look down below. The links are there. As I had mentioned prior, we upload our videos to YouTube and DTube at the same time, and whichever one finishes first is the one that we publish first, and obviously the second one that finishes, we publish that second. So there are times where on DTube and Steemit, our videos are shown well before YouTube. Just I don't know, happens to do with whichever one can process faster at that time, whichever one has less traffic. So much appreciated there, you guys on DTube and Steemit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up actually something. Somebody in our last video had made a comment and posted a chart, and it's something that we've been watching for quite some time. We have a very similar account, if not identical count, as an alternate account, but we don't mention it here. The reason why we don't mention it here is because otherwise each one of my videos is going to be like 2 hours long if I mention every single one of our accounts. What we try to do is obviously give you a primary, secondary, and sometimes tertiary, if the tertiary one differs significantly from the primary and secondary ones. The beauty of Elliott wave theory is that a lot of people can have, you can have 10 people look at the same chart and they're going to have 10 different counts. And that can happen quite often. And usually 8 out of those 10 counts are pretty much going to have the same result. In other words, they're all coming to the same conclusion. And 2 out of those 10 will then go ahead and have different conclusions than everybody else. So it's part of the beauty of Elliott wave theory, so I'm gonna show you this alternate count that we've also been looking at, and so did this gentleman as well, and I believe it was a gentleman. I'm not sure, but so the way it really goes is the fact that this bottom line right here is not really the true trend line. The true trend line starts from here and it goes to here. Okay, and then you copy this, Control C, Control V if you guys want to do it quickly, and you put it up here. So what do you have? You have a true channel here. Now the count becomes like this, okay, and it's quite of an interesting take on this whole thing, that you really look at this as being the top of the market. Okay, and then you have an A, you have a B, and you have a C. Okay, A, B, and C. So what happens with the rest of this? So basically, this is A, B, C. We would have to have a D and an E. Okay, an E somewhere down here. Okay, so depending on which market you're looking at, which exchange you're looking at, we have, in some of the exchanges we've already made the D, and others we have not. Okay, this one obviously we have not. It would look to have this fifth wave would go ahead and make the D, and then we would make the E. So definitely an interesting count. I would tell you to go ahead, look at our last video on Steemit or DTube, and you'll see that chart right there. I want to give him credit for it because we have yet to mention it yet, but it has been a count of ours as well. So so thank you very much for that. So let's see what happened. Let's see what happened overnight. So overnight, let's zoom in here on a 1 hour basis. overnight we had a bit of a very small correction, and this is what we're seeing here, and it stopped directly on this line, right? Directly on this line. I actually got some emails from people saying, why do you draw so many lines and stuff like that? A lot of them are not needed, and in particular this one right here, I had a few comments that basically I'm looking too much into it. So I don't think so, and the market doesn't think so either. So on a 1 hour basis, the market has come down, and now it looks like it's springboarding back up. Okay, in the event that this wave right here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count is still here, then what we're looking is that this is going to be just this correction right here is going to ABC correction, which I think we have. I think we have, you know, an ABC correction right here. So what we would be looking for now would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, which would make up this right here. So in other words, this would come down here, and this would come, you know, I don't know, up somewhere around here. Okay. Now, if this tends to turn around, let's say, for example, we come up here, right? We can go all the way up to 99%, 99.999% of the beginning of wave 1, right? We can come all the way up here, and then the market could possibly come back down again, right? That also could be a 1, 2, excuse me, an A, B, and a C. Okay? So there's a lot of different patterns that possibly could be with regards to this correction. If you were to look at the recent past, you would think that, yes, this, okay, fine, this is an ABC, and we're looking for this next 5th wave right now, because that's happened. All the ABCs have been pretty quick and pretty clean. Okay, so that very well may be the case for what's going on here. So our theory would be is that we're making the fifth wave, the way in which we're counting all of this. Another question I had is whether or not is this a bearish flag. I don't think it is. The reason why I don't think it is because this is not very 3-wave-ish. In other words, what's inside here, right? It's very 5-wave-ish looking. And in my experience, you know, bearish waves, bullish waves tend to be a bit more 3-wave-ish than they are 5-wave-ish. So that's my thought there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the RSI. Again, this is a 1 hour chart. So RSI, it peaked out right here. Okay. Oh, excuse me, right here. And then the market had fallen off in pretty quick succession. Right? Now the Laguerre RSI bottomed out right here, and it's starting to move up. It crossed over right around this point right here. So if you're trading this on an Elliott wave basis, okay, you've counted your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You see that the Laguerre RSI is very high. You see that what's going on here, and that's how you manage your trade, right? That's how you manage your trade. This is, you know, textbook trading. Okay, this is trading 101. This is great stuff. It's working great right now. And then obviously we have an ABC that comes down. Let's say you can't even short the market, right? Because in some areas, especially within the US, you can't short the market on many exchanges. So you would then have to go ahead and just basically monitor your buys, right? And you need to, you know, sell some and then buy some back a bit. And so obviously the obvious thing would be to be starting to sell around here and around here, right? And then you create your protective stops right along these levels right here, right? And then you see the market fall off. So this would be a great trade right here, especially considering where you'd be getting in. You'd be getting in somewhere around this area right here. Okay, so it's a great trade. Yeah, so I think that's really about it for right now. The question really becomes, is this an A, B, and then we have a C? that comes down, or has the ABC already happened? So what we're going to be looking for is pretty much for this to be making, maybe a small little correction. I mean, this could run up obviously way more and then have a small little correction, and then we want to have like that third wave. We have the fourth wave and then the fifth wave. Okay, the fifth wave could pierce through here. If this count is all correct, the fifth wave could pierce through here. And I think we'll be making a video by that time. If not, then I'll try to jump on the computer real quick and make a video. But don't be fooled if this thing comes up here. Okay, if it comes up here, don't be fooled. Don't start buying like a maniac. Okay, wait. There's always better times to get in. It's better to go ahead and miss a move in order to get into a lower risk probability, lower risk trade, okay, which has a higher probability of paying off than it is to go ahead and just put money in so you capture a bullish trend. Do not do that, okay? So wait for this thing to come up and come. I'm almost 100% positive we're going to go ahead and be making a video before that time, but wait for it to come up. Wait for it to come down and correct. Wait for it then to start coming up again. Okay, and eclipsing the top of that original top where it pierced out. Okay, wait for all of that before you start, buying crazy, like that. Also, at the same time, go ahead and draw that channel that I had drawn before. Okay, go ahead and draw, the channel that I mentioned down here, and copy and paste the line up here, because I think that line is a little bit higher. Okay, so go ahead and draw that one too. So that's really about it for right now. Yeah, happy trading. Definitely get on to DTube and Steam It like I mentioned. Links are down below, and we'll be speaking to you guys soon. Thanks much.